Welcome to Star Bios, the show where we dive into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most iconic stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on the incomparable Richard Pryor, a man who revolutionized comedy with his unflinching honesty and unparalleled talent. Born on December 1, 1940, in Peoria, Illinois, Richard Pryor's life was a complex tapestry of laughter and pain, of triumph and tragedy. As we explore his early years, you'll discover the formative experiences that shaped this comedy legend into one of the most influential figures of our time. Richard Pryor's childhood was marked by the harsh realities of poverty and racism in 1940s America. His mother, Gertrude Thomas, was a prostitute, and his father, Leroy Pryor, was a boxer and a bartender who later became a nightclub owner. The couple's tumultuous relationship and frequent separations had a profound impact on young Richard, who often found himself being shuffled between different family members and caregivers. Despite these challenges, Richard's grandmother, Marie Carter, played a stabilizing role in his life, providing love, support, and a sense of continuity. Growing up in Peoria's South Side, Richard was exposed to the city's vibrant African-American community, where jazz and blues music filled the air, and the sounds of laughter and storytelling echoed through the streets. He spent countless hours listening to his father's stories about the local boxing scene and the colorful characters that frequented his nightclub, which would later influence his own comedic style. The neighborhood was also home to a thriving theater scene, with the famous Peoria Players Theater just a short walk from Richard's childhood home. It was here that he developed a passion for acting and performance, often putting on small skits and shows for his family and friends. The social and cultural landscape of 1940s and 1950s, America had a profound impact on Richard's early life. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, with figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X leading the charge against racial inequality. In Peoria, Richard witnessed firsthand the harsh realities of segregation, from separate water fountains to restricted access to public facilities. These experiences would later inform his comedy as he tackled topics that were previously off-limits in mainstream entertainment. As a young boy, Richard found solace in the local movie theater, where he'd watch classic films starring Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. He was particularly drawn to the physical comedy of these silent film stars, often practicing their routines in front of the mirror. This early fascination with comedy would eventually lead him to pursue a career in stand-up, where he'd draw upon his own life experiences to create a unique brand of humor that was both poignant and hilarious. Richard's education began at the local Carver Community Center, where he attended kindergarten and developed a love for learning. He later attended Blaine Sumner Elementary School, where he excelled in his studies and demonstrated a natural talent for acting and performance. However, his academic career was marked by frequent disruptions, including expulsions from school and periods of homelessness. Despite these challenges, Richard's determination and resilience ultimately prevailed, paving the way for his future success. As we leave Richard Pryor's early life behind, we find ourselves on the cusp of a remarkable journey, one that will take him from the gritty streets of Peoria to the bright lights of Hollywood. With his unique voice, unflinching honesty, and unwavering dedication to his craft, Richard Pryor was poised to revolutionize the world of comedy forever. As Richard began his career in stand-up, he was heavily influenced by the likes of Bill Cosby, Dick Gregory, and Lenny Bruce. He started performing in local clubs and bars, honing his craft and developing a unique voice that blended humor with poignant storytelling. In 1963, Richard moved to New York City, where he became a regular at iconic comedy clubs like the Gaslight Cafe and the Bitter End. It was during this period that he befriended other notable comedians, including Woody Allen and George Carlin. Richard's big break came in 1966 when he appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show, one of the most popular television programs of its time. His performance earned him widespread recognition, and soon he was in high demand, appearing on various TV shows, including The Tonight Show and The Merv Griffin Show. As his star continued to rise, Richard began to push the boundaries of comedy, tackling topics like racism, poverty, and social inequality. One of Richard's most significant influences during this period was his mentor, Redd Foxx. The two comedians met in the early 1960s, and Fox took Richard under his wing, teaching him the ins and outs of the industry and introducing him to key figures like Berry Gordy, founder of Motown Records. This relationship played a pivotal role in shaping Richard's comedic style as he learned to incorporate elements of music and storytelling into his act. In 1967, Richard released his debut album, Richard Pryor, which marked the beginning of an incredible run of critically acclaimed albums that would cement his status as one of the greatest comedians of all time. Over the next decade, he released a string of groundbreaking albums, including That Nigger's Crazy, Is It Something I Said, and Richard Pryor, Live in Concert. These albums not only showcased Richard's unique voice, but also tackled topics that were previously off-limits in mainstream comedy. As Richard's fame grew, so did his influence on popular culture. He became a hero to many young comedians, including Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, and Dave Chappelle, who have all cited him as a major inspiration. Richard's impact extended beyond the world of comedy, too, as he paved the way for future generations of African-American artists, writers, and performers. Throughout his career, Richard was driven by a desire to push boundaries and challenge social norms. He was unafraid to confront his own demons, including his struggles with addiction and racism, using his platform to raise awareness and spark important conversations. This unwavering commitment to honesty and authenticity has made Richard Pryor one of the most beloved and respected figures in comedy history. As the 1980s began, Richard continued to dominate the world of comedy, releasing iconic films like Stir Crazy and Brewster's Millions. He also appeared in more dramatic roles, showcasing his versatility as an actor. One notable example is his performance in Blue Collar, a film that highlighted the struggles of working-class Americans. This movie not only demonstrated Richard's range, but also underscored his commitment to telling stories that mattered. Despite his professional successes, Richard faced numerous personal challenges during this period. He struggled with multiple sclerosis, a disease that would eventually leave him wheelchair-bound. Additionally, he battled addiction and experienced a series of personal setbacks, including a highly publicized freebasing accident in 1980. This incident left him with severe burns and marked a turning point in his life, prompting him to reevaluate his priorities and seek help. In the face of these challenges, Richard continued to create, using his platform to raise awareness about multiple sclerosis and addiction. He became an advocate for social justice, supporting causes like the NAACP and the American Cancer Society. His unwavering commitment to honesty and authenticity inspired countless fans who saw in him a beacon of hope and resilience. One of Richard's most significant contributions during this period was his influence on a new generation of comedians. He mentored and supported up-and-coming talent, including Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, and Dave Chappelle. These comedians have often spoken about the profound impact Richard had on their careers, citing him as a major inspiration and role model. As the years passed, Richard's health began to decline, but his spirit remained unbroken. He continued to perform, albeit at a slower pace, and released several more films and albums. In 1998, he was awarded the first-ever Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, a testament to his enduring legacy. His impact on popular culture is immeasurable, and his commitment to honesty, authenticity, and social justice remains an enduring part of his legacy. In the end, Richard Pryor's story is one of triumph and tragedy, of struggle and redemption. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.